Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's edition of Table Talk. I'm Christopher Bora with the Star Herald, and joining me today is Paula Sanata, who is organizing the Christmas Cruise event on December 19th. So we're going to be discussing that and learn a little bit more about its history and how you could be a part of it. So yes, Paula, thank you very much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of the Christmas Cruise? How long it's been going on, how you came up with the idea, things like that.
So actually the Christmas cruise came about last year when all of the parades were canceled, and it was actually my brother and my sister-in-law who came up with the idea, and they just decided, you know what, the heck with it, we're just going to put some lights on some vehicles, invite a bunch of people out, and we're going to drive around town. And then they came up with the idea of let's drive around to all the nursing homes because, let's face it, older people, they don't get the chance to get out and go see the parades or anything like that. And they've been awfully busy this last year, so I'm like, hey, I'll just take it over and help organize it. So that's kind of where we're going with it.
All right, so out of, something tragic happening with all the parades being canceled, you got something awesome going on.
For sure.
It's good to know. And how did you guys decide, on a specific route? Is it the same one as last year?
I don't believe it is. I did ask the community. I posted, hey, is there anybody that would like to be involved? So I think this year we're adding the Cirrus House. I'm not for sure how you pronounce that, but we're adding a couple different location stops that other people had mentioned. And so I just kind of map quested it, and we're gonna do a kind of, I guess, trial run this weekend and make sure everything goes smoothly before we hit it on the 19th.
That's definitely a good idea. And what is the event this year going to look like?
Well, hopefully we're going to have just as many cars as we did last year. Last year I believe we had upwards of 20. We have asked everybody to have their vehicles decorated, so you'll just see a bunch of vehicles driving around town, fully decorated, looking like we're parading through town. It was a lot of fun. We had lots of people stop and look, and lots of kids that were just very excited to see it. There's going to be quite a few classic cars for sure, so it's been a fun thing.
So it's not specifically for the nursing homes, it's more of like a really community event then?
A community event for people to actually be able to see, and our stops just include the nursing homes, so.
Alright. And you were saying you have approximately the same number, a little bit more perhaps than last year, is that right?
We're hoping. Now it is just open to the community involvement, so I know as far as it goes, all of my family members are coming, and I know there's several of the Scottsbluff Valley Street Rod people that are going to show up and have their lights.
That's where the classic cars come from?
Yep. So, and then we'll just see how many other people show up and want to join in on the Christmas spirit.
And how would people manage to get involved? Would they need to contact you on Facebook or something like that?
Nope, we're just set a meeting point and just show up and go. That's kind of just how we're rolling with it.
Alright, and the event this year is December 19th. So if someone would want to be involved with that, where should they meet and what time should they meet at?
So we are meeting in the parking lot next to the watering hole at 6 o'clock on the 19th. We have from between 6 to 6:30. We'll take off at 6:30 and we'll start our route. The best way to kind of keep an eye on that is I'm going to be posting on our Facebook page the Scottsbluff Christmas Cruise, and I'll just post kind of a route and tell people when we're taking off. And I do believe we actually have a photographer this year, so anybody that would like to get pictures of their car and lights can do that. We still haven't decided on a location for that yet, but hopefully we make that work out.
All right, and aside from the expanded route, is there anything in particular that's different that you're doing this year when compared to last year, now that you have a little more experience with conducting these events?
Nothing really different for us, I don't think, but I did suggest to several of the care centers that they actually host like a little Christmas get together
Ooh, that
for
would be
their residents, and so I think several of them are actually putting together maybe like a hot cocoa and Christmas music night so that they have an area that they can all go and meet and wait for us, and they're not just, waiting around in the rooms hoping to see us. So, because we have a full hour that we might be there type thing, so it helps, and it kind of keeps their spirits up during this time of year.
Sort of jumping off on that, what were some of the reactions that you got from this last year, and what do you expect people to, experience from this year?
Last year, as far as when we went to the care centers, we had several people that were very excited to look out their window and see lights. I don't think a lot of them remembered that we were coming around, and then all of a sudden they'd walk past a window or something like that, and they'd look out and you just see them watching, which is super fun. I know we drove by a church, and there was a bunch of little kids in a church last year, and they were just, all their noses were pressed up against the glass, and it was really cool to see. So, I mean, we had a lot of people just stop what they were doing and just watch us go down. I mean, it's not very often you get to see a parade just drive through town.
Sure. Especially one that, isn't part of like the parades that go down Broadway. This one's all around the area.
So, and we like to just kind of keep it fun, It gives us a little bit of community involvement, and it also helps people stay safe during our time of, pandemic and everything like that.
That's true.
So,
can you tell me a little bit about the route that you guys have planned this year?
I know we take off, and I believe we start and go towards the veterans home first, and then there's so many different stops on our route this year that's kind of where we're starting. We'll probably end towards the Gearing area.
Okay, so it's not just Scottsbluff, it's Gearing as well?
This entire area, so Scottsbluff, Gearing area. Didn't want to exclude anybody because Gearing's so close, so.
For sure, that's definitely good to include. And one other question I had was how you sort of advertise the event. I personally found out about it on Facebook, but is there anywhere else or any other methods that you've used to sort of drum up interest a little bit?
It's seriously just been Facebook and word of mouth. So I'm actually part of the Rockabilly Misfits, so we've kind of been talking about it at different things that we've done, and I've been trying to get them to just come in and join, and hopefully I'll see a lot of my friends there. And
oh, for sure.
I've talked about it to like I said, the Scottsbluff Street Rod Association. We're friends with several of the people on there, and every time we'd go to like a car event, it would be like, hey, we are hosting this, so.
And you've got the cars already?
We do.
Just need to decorate them.
Yep. So, I mean, we're hoping to see a good turnout and hopefully bring a lot of Christmas cheer around the valley.
All right. Is that really the goal of this event, just to bring up some holiday cheer?
It sure is.
Christmas?
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like there's too many times you just don't see enough of it anymore, and this is kind of just our way of spreading it.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, this is Paula Sanata, and thank you for joining me tonight. And for all you watching this episode, you can find out more information through our print edition and online at starhill.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a good day.